Donald Trump wants the most impressive plane, the biggest, the best. Hello, everybody. David Schuster here. Donald Trump's narcissism and shallowness have hit new levels, and now Trump is getting slammed across the political spectrum. More on that in a moment, but first, en route to Qatar, Donald Trump doubled down on his plan to accept a $400 million jet. Trump says the current Air Force One is too old.
The plane that you're on right now is almost 40 years old. And when you land and you see Saudi Arabia and you see UAE and you see Qatar and you see all these, and they have these brand new Boeing 747s mostly, and you see ours next to it, this is like a totally different plane. It's much smaller, it's much less impressive as it is. And you know, we're the United States of America. I believe that we should have the most impressive plane. So anyway, so they said to me, we would like to, in effect, we would like to make a gift. You've done so many things. And we'd like to make a gift to the Defense Department, which is where it's going. And I said, well, that's nice. Now, some people say, oh, you shouldn't accept gifts for the country. My attitude is, why wouldn't I accept a gift?
Because it is illegal. That's why. The Constitution spells it out in the Emoluments Clause, Article 1, Section 9, Clause 8. No person holding any office of profit or trust under them shall, without the consent of Congress, except of any present emolument, office, or title of any kind whatever from any king, prince, or foreign state.
Let's be clear about what this trip is all about. This is President Trump's corruption tour of the Middle East. He is going to the Gulf in order to collect tribute. What's happening here is an extraordinary level of corruption. We shouldn't pretend this is business as usual.
And never mind the criticism from Democrats, elected Republicans are also hammering Trump.
I trust Qatar like I trust a rest stop bathroom. If they want to be friendly, I want to be friendly back. But with those guys, you know, trust in God, but tie up your camel.
Trust in God, but tie up your camel. That's an Arab proverb that means have faith everything will work out, but do what you can to ensure a favorable outcome. Here's another Senate Republican, Josh Hawley, saying that Trump should not accept the Qatari plane.
It's a nice gesture, but I think maybe the thing to do is to say, hey, we appreciate it, but there's a lot of other things you could help us out with, like stopping coddling Islamic fundamentalist terrorists in their own country.
Coddling Islamic fundamentalist terrorists. Yes, Qatar has been a home for leaders of Hamas and other terror organizations. On top of the Trump sleaze and corruption, there is also this. Headline, Trump's freebie Qatar jet is the stuff of nightmares in spy world. Quote, aside from any legal and ethical qualms about Trump accepting the plane, an 89-seater with a sumptuous French-designed interior, there are technical and security concerns too. Experts say any such gift on a foreign government's behalf presents opportunities for surveilling, tracking, or compromising communications of the president and anyone traveling with him.
It's on a plane given to us by a foreign government with 200 miles of wiring in it. Is an indication to me of complete recklessness on the part of the president. He is so dazzled by the notion of putting this plane in his presidential museum, he's forgotten his responsibility to this nation.
Everybody needs to know that Air Force One is not like every other Boeing, and it's going to have to be put through a lot of paces and probably every square inch analyzed before I think the president should consider it as primary means of transportation.
And
then you got to work through the cost-benefit of it, right? I mean, we're in a world of Doge, so we got to figure out whether it's worth upfitting or writing a check, selling it, and writing a check to the Treasury and help us with our debt reduction.
But despite the bipartisan debt concerns, security worries, ethical qualms, and the illegality of accepting the plane without congressional approval, Donald Trump keeps digging in. Just before arriving in Qatar, where Trump received a red carpet welcome and personal greeting from the nation's emir, Trump wrote on Truth Social, quote, the Boeing 747 is being given to the United States Air Force Department of Defense, not to me. It is a gift from a nation, Qatar, that we have successfully defended for many years. It'll be used by our government as a temporary Air Force One until such time as our new Boeings, which are very late on delivery, arrive. Trump reposted a supporter's note who asked critics, what about the Statue of Liberty, which was gifted from France in 1886? Yes, Donald Trump thinks a Qatari jumbo jet is the same as the Statue of Liberty. Never mind, of course, that the Statue of Liberty has always existed for all Americans to enjoy. Anybody who goes to New York City can see the Statue of Liberty from afar or up close if you like. By contrast, The Qatari jet would serve only President Trump before going to Donald Trump's Library Foundation. Once there, the aircraft would be used by Trump and by his family.
What is most chilling about this brazen bribe and the national security betrayal is how openly Donald Trump is doing it. How he is lying about the need for this aircraft and the risks involved.
Still, Trump Attorney General Pam Bondi has signed off on the plan to get around the constitutional prohibitions over the Qatari gift. Bondi has concluded it would not be considered a present to Trump because it would belong to the federal government. She also claims it's not a bribe because it's not dependent on a formal act. That argument is insane, especially when you consider the various actions Trump has now taken at the request of the Qatari government. That includes dropping sanctions on Syria, a Qatari ally, and ending U.S. military operations against Houthi rebels in Yemen. Amidst all of this, the list of Trump supporters criticizing his plan to accept the Qatari plane keeps growing, and it now includes members of Trump's own administration. Headline: Laura Loomer slams Trump over Qatari jet, calls it stain on his presidency. I am so disappointed. Mark Levin fumes over Trump's tour of the Arab world, citing 9/11. These are terrorists. Meanwhile, when Donald Trump returns from his Middle East trip and decompresses in his Florida home and golf course, he'll be confronted with this. The DNC says it will fly this banner plane overhead carrying the message, Qatar Lago. Aside from the political punch, though, consider this. Imagine if President Barack Obama had accepted a $400 million gift from Qatar. America would have gone crazy. After all, Republicans went berserk when Obama wore a tan suit. But with Trump, some of the reaction from the GOP is a sheepish, ho-hum, he shouldn't do it, it's not wise. Thankfully, some of the reaction from Trump's own supporters has been critical, loud, and outspoken. And that underscores just how outrageous Trump's acceptance of the plane really is. If Donald Trump really wants that gift, he should bring it to a vote in Congress, then accept the results, follow the Constitution, follow the law. This isn't complicated. I'm David Schuster. Thanks for joining us.